All right, guys, welcome to another ClevelandMoto Podcast. What are we at, Tom? We're at 456.
I think so, yeah.
Is that 456?
It
That
is.
seems impossible.
Yeah. Or wait, is it 46?
No. I think it's
So 46, you're right.
Yes,
46?
46, because we just did 445.
445.
446.
446.
446. Yeah.
I was gonna say, we jumped 10.
We jumped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it'll be a big celebration for me when we get to 454.
Yeah.
Because I'm an Oldsmobile fella from way back in the day. So I was like, yeah.
455.
Then at 455, exactly. Right. We'll have two of them right in a row.
And then we got 666 coming up in about 100.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute. We're going to do something super special for our 666th podcast.
Yeah.
We'll have a special guest, Satan.
Well, who's the most evil person we know? We have to invite them.
There's a lot of people that we know, but you're actually strangely a nice fella for all the boxes you check for being the Antichrist.
Right. There's that. But also, my friend, you got
Wait,
Eric,
it's the vegan thing, isn't it?
the high priest of the Satanic Church in
of
Cleveland.
Yeah,
Eric, we could get Eric.
we could. I
He
think
owns the
that's a
House of
great
Wills.
idea.
Yeah.
There you
that'd be
go.
good.
Even better.
As
I'm
somebody
going to be
posted
wearing my
earlier-
garlic necklace. Might have some holy
Get the
water
flask,
in
My
my
Adrian.
bottle.
asbestos underwear.
Get in the flask.
So to my immediate left, we have
Andy Taylor.
back. He's back. He's back again. To his left,
Steve Sleevey.
and to his left,
Johnny Mac.
and to his,
Dan Kremke.
and behind the bar tonight,
Tom Pennington.
and your humble narrative, Phil Waters. Today is the Black Friday edition of the Cleveland Moto Podcast. Raise your hand if you had turkey yesterday. Raise your hand if you still want turkey today. Oh, Croaky's in. He's like, I didn't get my turkey yesterday. I know you had to have a tofurkey yesterday, right?
Something like that. I just had to deal with my mom yesterday,
Wheat-
and that
wheat and
alone,
socks.
nobody's eating. Nobody's eating that much.
Really?
Oh, dude. She is an interesting person. Lots of fabrications, lots of fabricables of her life.
There you go.
And so here's what I have to actually ask a question. Do old people, those of the 80-plus generations, remember that when they're telling a story that you might have been there?
Yes, and do you know that is, just so you're aware,
Yeah.
my mom did this her entire adult life. The second that anybody had been in her life window long enough to share a memory with, oh, Philip, do you remember when and what we've discovered as we moved along and as mom, as that began, you know what that is? That's subject matter. That's subject matter. So if you haven't left the house much this month, if you don't have a lot going on, you can always say, do you remember when we got you that orange bicycle? And you go, well, I was there, right? Do you remember that Christmas we got you the red 10-speed? Well, I was the center of that story.
Right. And then the deviation of the actual
Now,
truth.
here's the trick.
Yeah.
Do you know that the only time a story is considered very accurate is the very first time it's told?
Oh, sure.
Because every time that story is told again, it gets modified. So the only pure story is the story where the event happened. Nobody says a fucking word about it until many, 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 many years later. And maybe 2-3 people are recounting the tale for the very first time. But stories like that are few and far between because they're not quality enough to be fucking stories, right? You're like, oh yeah, there was a rabbit in our backyard on Robert Street.
And then Bigfoot showed up.
Yeah, well, by the time 15 years go by and she tells that story at every family gathering because it's near and dear to her heart. But it is funny the way that they change so much.
She has 7 more degrees now than she used to have.
Yeah.
She's taught 20 more years longer than she has.
Right.
There are times when she walks just into Mark's, just casually
Yeah.
to go get something.
Right.
And some like 60-year-old man now, because it was her student back
Yeah.
then, throws himself on the floor saying, You
changed
the best
my life."
Yeah, and all this stuff. It's like, okay,
There you go.
And a black belt in karate.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yep.
And by the time we all get to her age, Notteramp's going to be 9 feet tall.
Right?
That is.
There we were at the
Knucklefesh rolled out 2 sets of dualies.
at the Grand
And he rolled out 2 sets of
but we got
dualies.
It was
pictures
like
to
the
prove some of
Grand
that.
Canyon.
Yeah.
And bourbon was flowing from cannons on either side of the aisle.
Bourbon Fairy will have become out of his nipples at that point. He will have been surgically altered by the time we're in our 70s to tell that very same story. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Right?
Pretty busy week for a lot of us. I know it's been a tough one for just the
Come get your mother's milk.
Yes, come get your mother's milk.
So was the shop just packed with
Black Friday shoppers?
Friday shoppers looking for that free deal?
We had one fellow who came in.
I was shopping. Oh, I'm not going to say that.
One fellow who came in and pretended that he was going to buy a motor scooter. He pretended. And he had his whole story worked out. In fact, he had written a proposal. So he had typed out and printed out a purchase proposal.
Oh, that man was going to propose to you, Phil.
He was in the shop a month and a half ago and wasted, 2.5, 3 hours of Renee's time because, he's just a guy. He's one of these guys that has to have everything on paper, has to have it great. And when I stopped talking to him today was when I offered him $400 off the price of the vehicle. A vehicle that I know is going to have a price increase after January 1. I'm offering him $400 off of today's price. I'm offering to give him free winter storage so his insurance and his warranty doesn't start until he picks it up on April 1st, right? He wanted me to sign a contract that said if Vespa, Piaggio, put the vehicles on sale anytime between now and his picking the bike up, that I would reduce his price by the amount that Vespa had put the vehicles on sale. I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. He goes, well, they're going to sell me the bike $150 cheaper in Columbus. And I said, no, they're going to sell you the current bike, which I would sell you at the regular price. They're not selling you the bike I'm offering you $400 off on. So apples and oranges now, buddy.
Right.
And I had to meet Smith at the warehouse to put his bike into storage. Plus I had 4 bikes I needed to take to the warehouse to go to storage. And I realized that this guy was just pulling my dick, right? And so I just went, okay. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, I had already told him $300 off. And I just said, you know what? Since I have to leave, I'm just going to say this now. We have 2 white ones and 1 black one. $400 off free winter storage. And I said, and I waited, and he goes, well, I'm going to have to think about that. And I said, yeah, I didn't think so. And I fucking left. And I just fucking left. And I was like, you know why? Because if I offer you 4 and you're still playing the game, then you weren't here to buy anything anyway.
You weren't serious.
You're here because you have a psychological problem.
Yeah.
You wanted to pretend. Literally, he wrote a proposal to buy a fucking scooter. He made a proposal. Like, if we could agree to these terms, then we were fit to be his supplier. Gotta go.
What's the old line? If you can find a better I didn't know.
He just and meanwhile, while how he was in there just not being a buyer, 2 other people came in and bought a bike, right? Like 2 other people came in and legitimately spent money and bought a thing.
Iacocca line, wasn't it? Was if you can find a better deal, buy it.
Right.
If you can find a better deal than that, and that was a good deal. Like I'm looking at this going.
Here's another tip for you too. If you're ever thinking that you're going to go into a place and be like, yeah, man, check it out. I'm going to do this thing where I'm going to talk to the dealership 200 miles away, and I'm going to talk to the dealership 100 miles away, and then I'm going to go into the dealership at the end of my street and buy the bike, buy the car, buy the whatever.
When I was in there the one day, I watched Renee make the easiest sale ever. The guy comes in, and he's just like, I'm going to buy a Vespa. Which one do you think I should buy?
Right.
And he's like, I don't know, maybe that one. He's like, okay.
Yep. That was it.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I should buy that one. That color might be better. Okay.
Right.
All right. You need anything from me? Here's my credit card.
Right.
All right. I'll see. I'll come pick it up later. Whatever.
Hey, call me when the paperwork's done.
Do you remember? One of my favorite parts from working at the shop was when the super hammered dude and his wife came in.
Loaded.
And you were like, you did all your due diligence until you're like, are you sure you would like to purchase this?
They were blasted.
Yeah.
They came in after a 17 cocktail lunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they bought how many? 2 scooters and all the accessories and.
Well, they started.
Yeah. Well, no, because then they changed the next day.
Exactly.
When we got there at 9 in the morning the next day.
Yeah.
The call.
So what did they do? They lied to me.
Right.
They spent 2.5 hours of my time, 3 hours of my time.
Oh, you tried everything.
They bought 2 bikes.
Yeah.
They got accessories. They did all this shopping. And I said, that's great. Give me your credit card so I can get your deposit done so we can prep the bikes. We don't have the card with us we use for these purchases and and everything else. And you know what? I'm going to give you 1 card, but put the deposit for 1 bike on this card. I'm going to bring you the other card for her bike tomorrow. And I went, that's fine. I don't care. I got into the shop 9 o'clock the next morning, had the voicemail.
Yep.
Like, we've made a terrible error. It turns out we talked to our financial analysts and we're going to go heavy in soybeans this year. And it turns out the Bitcoin didn't work out so well for us. And this whole story about why they couldn't buy anything now and they needed their $500 deposit
But I think
back.
my favorite part though
Yeah.
is when you tried to, you were like, do you really like you tried to be like,
Yeah,
look, dude,
I
like
tried to
you're
help
kind
him
of
out.
drunk right now.
Yep.
You didn't say that because you don't.
But
want
I
to
said,
say that,
maybe
but
you
kinda-
wanna think about it.
Yeah, right.
Maybe
And then
you wanna think about
and
it.
the dude took offense and was
He got
like,
pissed.
So you don't want to sell me something?
Right.
I'm trying to buy something.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Not friends.
Because it
I'm
turns
pretty
out
drunk right
30
now.
years of doing this,
Yeah.
I can tell when somebody's fantasy buying
Yeah.
and they're going to sober up. And so when I gave him the world's greatest out, when I pumped the brakes for him,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, now you're trying to insult me. You think I'm not qualified to make this purchase? And it turns out he wasn't.
Yeah.
Because the next day I ran his credit. He couldn't finance the pizza we had for dinner tonight.
Right.
Right? The man is not in shape. His debt to income ratio is not a relevant number.
But it was very amusing to watch it all go down.
Yeah, but that happens.
I know.
Right? Yeah, that's the thing. That's weird. So I bought a thing. Yeah.
You're addicted to these
So
things.
yeah, so last year just before the podcast,
Yeah.
I bought a Coleman mini bike
Yeah.
literally on my device while we were sitting having drinks before the podcast. And I was like, pretty great. Had a good time with it. Took it to a few events and we all rode it around and tried to, ride it and have fun with it. And it turns out it did exactly what the advertisement said it did. It was orange and white and fun. And so this is the newer one. It has disc brakes and a torque converter and LED lighting. And it's better in just every possible measurable way. And it was only $100 more. So I was like, oh, I'm going to buy one of those. I got to buy one of those. And then I got to thinking, I was like, you don't buy anything November 1st. You wait for Black Friday.
Yeah.
Because now Black Friday has turned into this ridiculous abomination where a young child told my wife, who works in education, we don't celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Black Friday. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving. We celebrate Black Friday.
I mean, that's the realistic way of looking at
Well-
it. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Let the
is-
spending begin.
It is the most American of holidays.
Of course.
Because we can talk about, the birth of Christ and Christmas and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We can talk about Thanksgiving and Lincoln and all the other crap. And
I'm a veteran.
we can-
I'm a veteran of the war on Christmas.
Right. We can literally talk about all this stuff, but the reality is Black Friday is the most American holiday I can
It is.
think
My
of.
favorite thing, though, is 11 p.m. tonight, the news, when you get to see all the people shooting each other over cheap
toys or whatever.
Because
Minecraft.
and see,
or whatever.
Amazon has even gone to this point where they started Black Friday
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks
3
ago.
weeks ago,
And
yeah.
Cyber Monday is no longer a thing.
'cause everyone has better internet at home.
Right. Because Amazon literally has just gone, you know what? If they're going to celebrate Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we might as well just run 2 weeks of sales.
I'm gonna go
and it
to
literally
my.
is all Alibaba crap anyway.
I'm gonna go to my house, or I'm gonna go to my job and use their internet there, so I can
Right.
buy things. Like, what a dated concept.
Right.
Right. Looks like
I can do it on my phone now. Anywhere I'm at.
I can literally buy things now.
I can buy real estate on my phone.
So, sure as shit, they dropped the price $200. So they did. They dropped the price $200 for
Yeah.
Black Friday, and from now until like the 25th, right? So
how
like
much is it?
couple of days. It was $799. Now it's $599.
Oh, because
Do you see that?
No, I don't see the. Where's
No, I
the?
see-
No, hold on, wait. So when I bought my orange and white one, the very best price I could find on this bitch was at Camping World.
Right.
So now the Camping World one is $849, which they're saying is a discount of $500 off 9 Hondo. They're wrong. Where you got to go is you got to go to Tractor Supply. Because when you go to Tractor Supply, that's when you get the real good deal. And the real good deal is the $599. And I mean, that's fantastic. That's truly the Sordic deal for a super fun little thing that you can rock around. I cannot tell you how much fun I've had on it. It's silly good fun.
Well, Oscar figured out how to do wheelies on it, so
And by the way, Oscar's technique of doing wheelies on it is pretty easy.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It wasn't like I got on there and I was like, really? You're fucking doing wheelies on this thing? I can't believe it. Because it's not like it has a crazy torque converter or anything cool going on. All we did was bent the piece of metal that was keeping it from going wide fucking open, right? We just bent a little metal tab out of the way, and now it's hunting for skylight, right? Yeah, $599.
Do they sell just the frame? I'm thinking you could fit a nice different motor in there. Man.
Yeah, sure. Right? I'll bet you the frame has a part number. Now, here's the crazy thing. I'm going to tell you how to game the system. One, if you have a federal tax ID number, you should probably register for tax ID with this particular item with Tractor Supply Company. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but hey, 8%'s 8%. Now, here's the other thing. I bought this, using my federal tax ID, got the tax break. So it's $599.99. I went to pick it up today. I was fully expecting it to be in a cardboard box. They had prepped it. It was already built. I'm going to unbuild it and build it again because I don't trust anybody. But here's the crazy thing. I walked up and I said, do you guys do a veterans discount? And they said, oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, what's your veterans discount? She goes, hold on, let me look it up. She looks it up. 20%.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Yeah.
So she said, do you have the credit card in your wallet that you paid for this with? And I said, I do. And she gave me $120 off of that. She gave me 20% of that back.
Dude.
Yeah, it actually turned out to be like $88, $89.
You might have to go buy another one of those for a couple of guys here.
The point being, what a dang deal.
Yep.
What a dang deal.
Yep.
Even at $600, it's still a lot of fun. So if you're looking for a pedestrian type thing that you can run around your backyard on, or you can ride around Mid-Ohio, or you can let your friends ride around Mid-Ohio.
Which is the point.
This is it.
Did you let the piston fire some anger or anything?
No. I picked it up just before I got here.
Because I just want to know how much faster it is with the torque converter compared to...
We have no idea. But we have the two things we need to know to find out. Right?
True.
We have a perfectly stock orange and white one, which is, what are they... Tom, explain to me the difference.
That's the BT. So the...
big tube.
Yeah, it's the big tube.
Or bent tube.
But the reality is that...
It's called the bent tube?
Yeah,
Is that what it is? The BT's the bent tube? So the BT200 is the orange and white U-Haul version.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it also came in red, though. I think they have in red, but it's that like big slope shoulder.
It looks like the letter C upside down.
Yeah.
Which I think is delightful design. I love the design of it.
It's very IKEA.
My
have
problem
a name like
is
Schlork.
They should call it it's called the Christopher. Yes, and here we have...
It's spelled with a K, with also a squiggly.
And at least one Z.
Yeah.
Right, the Christopher. And it doesn't have nearly enough letters.
No. And it's all put together with
an
one...
umlaut in there.
Oh, fuck.
You gotta put the whole thing together with that little L wrench.
Now you gotta paint
It's all built by Allen Heads.
Now it's gotta be blue and yellow and have IKEA written down the side of it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And it comes with meatballs.
Are you good?
When you look
You
at
are
the frame,
good
it's
with
a jigsaw puzzle of welded together
It is.
pieces that were all
Right.
scraps that they cut up and made work with the computer.
Here's what I have to say already about this. First of all, this has something, what I'd like to call a rack on the back of it.
Yeah.
Whereas the orange and white one, the BT, did not.
Yeah.
Sans.
Right. So, and then this one has the foot pegs mid-mounted, whereas the orange one has these fucking ridiculous highway pegs on it. So the orange one has your feet out in front of you like a Harley.
So this is the mid-mount Sportster, and the other one is the highway mount Sport. What is the?
I think it's a Dyna.
Yeah.
No, it's a rigid though. It's a rigid.
They're all rigid.
Yeah, they're all rigids. So, but this one has a disc brake on the back instead of a drum brake.
Well, see that
cool.
I'm looking at the
I like it.
I'm looking at the torque converter on it, but it's not like the one that I ended up with.
No. I don't
Where
think
it's got
this
the
is
longer
even trying to be the
stretch.
same thing.
Well, no,
but so here's the. I'll pull this up just because we're fucking standing here, yapping about it.
Yeah, see, there's that's
black
that's the
BT.
big tooth.
That's the big tube. The big tube.
tube.
So that's the big
There's
tube.
no rear rack. It has the old school incandescent light bulb.
It does. And by the way, that old light bulb, I figured out the light bulb on the orange and white one I have is that giant chrome looking Harley headlight thing, which from a half mile away is frighteningly bright. I mean, it's when you're drinking a beer and somebody's shining it at you, you're like, go away. But actually on the road in front of you, it's useless. they've somehow managed to figure out a lighting system that burns your eyeballs, but also provides no usable light.
Nice.
And I've tried aiming it up and down and side to side. It really doesn't help too much. I'm really excited about the new one because
Bright but not focused.
that's right. Yeah, I think that it might be bright, but just bright all the way, so that you're literally staring into the eye of fucking Sauron. But this, so this is the one I have the orange and white version of, and no luggage rack in the back whatsoever.
Yep.
And totally a different build. But more importantly, this one didn't get the big fucking discount now, did it? So for some reason, this one's still paying full cheddar like last year.
So if you're just checking in, this is Cleveland Mini Bike.
Hey, you go in your Instagram right now and you join the Coleman Mini Bike channel. That is some fun shit.
Oh, yeah.
We should all be wishing we were having as much fun as the people on that Instagram group.
You know, I always talk about, and Sleepy always brings up the fact that the Chinese motorcycles that are coming out now are infinitely customizable. And nobody's going to care if you cut them up.
Nobody's
going to
care.
Chinese motorcycles.
Nobody's going to care.
But the reality is they're still $2,000 plus.
Yes.
This is a $500 buy-in.
It's true.
And you can do anything to it, and literally no one's going to care, and someone's always going to give you $300 for the carcass.
I noticed that the one that you just got today, the seat's bent, so you could really make that into a chopper.
Oh, yeah.
Like, like the way the back kicks up, you could get another foot on those forks.
Yeah.
Not even change the seat.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely some stuff that can be done to it pretty easily.
What is it, Greg?
I have no desire to do it.
Greg at MotoGo.
Yeah.
Is the mini bike guy of Cleveland, I've found.
He's at Skidmark.
Skidmark.
Yeah. Greg Costello.
And yeah, he just like looking at this stuff, and after him going, "Hey, wait a minute, why didn't you talk to me?" I'm like,
right,
because we're just dabbling in this, and you're
but he probably wouldn't talk to you at all because I don't think he deals with new mini bikes.
No, he doesn't want to mess around with this shit.
Yeah, but he wants everybody to have fun with mini bikes.
But this whole thing is all for fat old white guys.
That's true. Yep.
That's what this is. Let's not try to fucking sugarcoat it.
Let me put this on the back of the Winnebago.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool, great. This is just for funsies. That's all it is. And the idea is if it keeps you from... Macklefresh gets on here and he's like, yeah, remember when you had an MT250 Elsinore? Like, that's a cool bike.
Yep.
No, that's not exactly what I said.
What'd you say, John?
I said grow up.
And buy motorcycles like
we have enough
fucking
fucking pit bikes. Get yourself a vintage enduro like an MT250 Elsinore.
Right.
Or get yourself your dreams SL350, get something
Exactly.
a little bit more adult in nature.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's just me.
But like old assholes are running the price up on those, so this is nothing.
But more importantly...
I got news for you.
Yeah.
We are those old
We are the old assholes.
We're not running the price up on this because I'm not spending more than $500 on any Honda.
No, you're taking this away from a kid who deserves it.
Because there's a shortage of these for the poor children out there.
But we are at least buying it, and then when it gets sold broken for a couple $100, and you're still keeping.
We're seeding the market,
right?
But my point is, as Merritt so eloquently pointed out today, really, yeah. And tell Captain Headgasket over there if he wants to come and work on it and keep it running for you. Whereas I'm pretty sure this Coleman is going to take abuse like a rented bike.
I mean, I give you that. Like these,
I'll come work on your MT500 or your 250 Elsinore or your SL350
and all that. And you know what? Being that I'm 54 years old and I have so much free time, that I really didn't want to ride the bike anyway. I really wanted to look at it being broken. Yeah.
Thinking about this and thinking about what happened to the SSR this past week.
Yeah.
Because I did something stupid.
It's okay.
Admit. But reality is...
We're going to talk about that.
These two bikes,
the
SSR and this mini bike, nobody gives a rat's ass about.
Nobody cares.
You can blow them up. You can
Nobody
burn
cares.
them in a fire. It doesn't matter. As long as you have the fun and as long as the fun equals how much you've spent on this bike.
Well, and think about this. Like my lawnmower is sitting there, the small one.
Yeah.
And it's watching me change oil on all my bikes.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been like 17 years since I even looked to see if it had oil.
Yeah.
And it still runs every time I pull the fucking string. That's what this, you could do that to this.
That
right?
GX, that is a Honda GX copy. It does not care what you throw at it. It will run tacos.
That's my point.
It will run a taco generator all day long, or it will run a mini bike.
That's what I'm saying. So
I know.
That's
exactly
compared to all the
I'm
other
with
little
ya.
bikes that we have that we always have to keep fixing and stuff. I'm sure that Something will break, but it ain't going to be the motor.
For band camp and AMA Vintage Days,
Yeah.
this is exactly what I need.
When I was
And
living-
even the SR 125, which I love,
yeah.
is loud.
Yeah.
The SR 125 is like when we're at AMA Vintage Days and we're all just sitting around like, yeah, this is a really great time. And somebody's like, hey man, I'm gonna borrow your bike. Hug it. All the anger in the world. Oh my god, I'm so pissed off. I can't believe this. Oh my god, it's horrible shit. And then it stalls. And you're like, yeah, choke, man. You got to leave the choke on for more than fucking 1 second, man. You got to leave the choke on for half a second. And then they got to start it again. And now they got to sit in front of our campsite for the next 3.5 minutes warming it up.
Yep.
Because they don't know how to pull away on half choke.
Nope.
And I'm just like, the SR 125 from the factory is one of the God's angriest sounding motorcycles for as little as it is.
Can you at least buy a Sky Team, like, CT70 clone or something? Only up another $50.
Dude, no, Sky Team made the four-stroke van that basically I'm building now, but they make that. That's what I always wanted.
I mean, if I found a red streak,
Okay.
I'd go for it.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
I don't even, honestly, guys, I have not even been looking. I have not been looking.
Oh, don't tell him now because then he's going to add more.
Like-
Phil is not
like-
one to stop.
I mean, he's not listening to me. So.
I mean, I
I'm not going to do what I want him to do, but maybe
Ice
I
Bear
can
sells
make
a great
compromise
copy.
and get him to do something I kind of could do.
What I want is, if I'm going to buy a Sky Team, I'm going to buy the Sky Team Ace.
Okay.
But they don't fucking, like,
What's the Ace?
it's the cool one.
The cool one is the van.
Oh, no. You don't know
Give
the
me a
Sherpa.
second.
The Sky Team Sherpa.
Oh, I haven't
Wait
looked
for
at
it.
that. I haven't looked at that yet. Give me a minute. I'm going to conjure this fucker up. I swear to God, I'm going to conjure this shit
The
up.
other thing, I mean, can we at least like have like a riding, like let's go get a place and have a trail and ride them.
Okay.
Don't you have a compound with trails everywhere?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
There you
Right.
go.
There you
Don't you have
go.
a compound with trails?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
we have
I
no
do. I
shortage
ride
of
my
fucking
own
compounds.
I'm the only one dumb enough to live in the city. What the hell are you all talking about?
Are you going to put screws in the tires or what?
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Still. I mean, hey, I wish that last year I had the time to go use those screws. I got a little
did.
fucked over.
We didn't have the weather. We didn't
Y'all
have-
did. We didn't have any
did the
ice.
weather.
You're the one.
Yeah.
You're the one that brought this up, and this is exactly the bike I want. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, this is
The
the
Ace?
one where I will, all of my evil things that I say about Chinese motorcycles, all of these things are all going to go out the
Yep.
window the second that I can actually buy one.
You know that's like a 3/4 set. That thing's going to be, my
No.
CB350 is going to look huge compared to that thing.
You know what I have too that would go right in that? I have a CL 100 bored out to a 110, brand new, that you could hop that thing up.
That's pretty cool.
But what's that already having?
125.
Oh, well, then
Yep.
there you go.
CG 125.
There you go.
Yeah. Look, the last time I rode this motorcycle, it was called the Honda Dream 50.
Yep.
And it's the exact same size as the one I rode, which is way too fucking small for me.
Right.
So in 2005, and only 2005, the United States got the 2005 Honda Dream 50R, which is what you're talking about, I assume.
Yep, 10-speed transmission.
Yep. It was the tribute to C166, the old
whatever
one.
the race model
Whatever
was
the race
with
model
Honda
was.
that Honda used that didn't coincide with the CCs.
And the only reason I didn't buy one is because a very, very important incident happened in my life in 2005, which is called Hurricane fucking Katrina.
That happens.
I ended up in Austin, Texas. I had a bank account that had money from FEMA in it. I ended up at a Honda dealer, looking up on the wall, seeing this bike.
See where your hard-earned tax money goes, people?
Yep. Jackasses like me spend on alcohol and rebuilding New Orleans. I looked at the guy, the salesman. This is about 6-8 months after they released, and I said, well, it's kind of an old bike. Would you discount it? The guy was like, well, it's only a 50. Let me go talk to my boss.
Yep.
And he comes back and he goes, I don't know what's going on. But
Why does
he's
he want
sticking-
$10,000?
He's sticking really close to that number on that bike. I said, man, it's almost a year old. I said, y'all want to move some product, right? And he's like, well, I don't understand. They also had like 2 NSRs, or what is it? The NSRs? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same time. And for 10 years, I chased one that was actually in Kenner, and I just could not land one. The Sky Team, as soon as I saw it, I went, yes. Mm-hmm. And I've been after Sim Wolfs for ages, and this is grittier than a Sim Wolf.
So the
We just
AC-15.
sold Steve's Wolf for $500.
I know. See, so Tom's back here. I want this. I want that. I want this. We've offered him 5 of the things that he wants, and then he's like, whoa.
I know there's a Simba sitting too.
I know.
I know.
I'm not even answering people offering me full boat for it. People are offering full boat, and I just don't even have time to deal with it.
Yeah. No, so that's him. That's him. Is going to move.
So this one, so these were 97 and 98 for the United States market. 3.1 cubic inches, guys. That's 50 cc's.
Oh, I'm going to start calling my wiener 50 cc's
Yeah.
then. It sounds so much better.
3 foot-pounds of torque at 8,500 RPM.
Oh, yeah.
Now, all of that.
It was a 5-speed. It wasn't a 10-speed.
Yeah.
But so long and short, dual overhead cam. So 4 valves, dual overhead cam. Look at that thing.
It's cute.
yeah.
Look
yeah.
at it. It's adorable. It's just so damn
Does it?
adorable.
I don't remember. Does it have all like the fake racing, like all the holes in the calipers and stuff drilled? Like
Yeah.
those-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
does.
it's
It has no street gear whatsoever. It is not made for the street.
It
You
is.
do
You're wrong. It is 100% made for the street.
it's
In
not-
fact, they were street legal. So we had 2 versions. We had the
Okay.
CB50V and the CB50W.
Yeah.
And so you could buy them either way. You could buy them race only, or
Yeah.
you could buy them with the full turn signals. The one you see there is fully lit up. It's got the turn signals. It's got the whole fucking shooting match. Fully street legal. I know there was a guy that we were a vendor for. I went down in his garage and he had about 16 of these.
Yeah.
He's collecting them.
Well, again, it's just like
Fucking
it's just like
cool.
your GB. They never sold. But the reality is because every Honda dealer in the United States looked at this and went,
Astronomically
"We're
expensive.
going to ask the moon for these."
Yeah,
and then
useless.
never sold them.
Useless. Absolutely
Oh, yeah.
useless
For a
motorcycle.
fraction of the price, you could buy a 68 Honda SS 125.
Exactly.
And it would be way better and
I've-
cooler.
Way better.
I got a
Yeah.
CB 125 sitting in my garage. This literally
You don't have a SS.
Not a super-
No, I do not.
SS.
I do not. But the reality is, I could literally chop that CB.
Because if you did,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
you'd be a
CB1.
lot better friend.
The
Right
CB1.
up to the point where I fucking snuck it from you.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to perma-borrow this. The CB125 SS is still one of my absolute favorite bikes. That's one of those motorcycles where you're like, yep, it's real small. I know. And I've got a CB160 that I love.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that I really, really like the CB125 SS.
I regret selling my CB 200T. I'm not going to lie.
They
They were fun. Little
cool
tiny
bike.
bikes are what we're all
Cool
into.
bike. Such a cool bike.
It's just when you hear the motor running,
Yeah.
it's just running. It's just a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's another bike that you're like, it's the coolest bike at Mid Ohio. And then you get it back home and you're like, I'm going to ride it to work. And you're like, no, that was a big mistake.
Right.
Huge mistake.
You know, I'm of the entire group. Speaking about riding tiny little bikes to work, I might be the only one that can get away with it.
Yeah, because your commute is
know what?
8/10 of a mile.
You guys just hit on a part of Mid Ohio that I don't think we discussed.
Uh-huh.
So
Grumpy Sewer Guy rode every small bike in the world back and forth 25 miles.
yes,
The Honda Monkey, the CB1.
His passport.
The Wolf, the
Yeah, the
Passport.
passport.
It doesn't matter. He would ride that
You
on
just
the
ride
highway.
it to work
Yep.
the entire way. Well, anybody that jumps on a passport and goes like, yeah, this is my commuter. Oh, really? So you live at the campus? No. I live 2 counties away.
Nope.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
So, but you guys were talking about, you said sounding like a sewing machine, right?
Yeah.
It kind of hit me. So, like, Mid Ohio has all these, like, different things. When you're young, you're like, okay, I'm going to jump the fire, right?
Right.
And then our
Absolutely.
age, it's like, coming up with cool shit, fun, whatever, right?
Absolutely.
Then you get a little older to 70, 75 here.
Yep.
Those are the guys that come up with their sewing machine bikes and don't shut them off and have a conversation. And like, who's ever's is quieter is probably like got the bigger dick. He's like, yeah, yours is still running too.
I don't know. I
yeah.
think the guys with the H1 500.
No, that's a different. I'm
You'll
talking.
never beat a Honda Metropolitan for that, though.
Yeah.
You
Oh no.
It's electric start, and you're just
No.
like, you're like, I think it's running.
Are you sure it's running?
I can't
It might be running. I'm not sure if it's running or not. Yep. So somebody posted up that somebody blew up a Navi.
Yeah.
I'm.
So a guy was trying
This is
to.
my not surprised face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a guy was trying to sell it on
Right.
Adventure Rider.
Yeah.
When he first started the ad, it had 5,800 miles. He said, hey, this has
okay.
been my little commuter. All I've done is I haven't driven my car in 8 months. I've been riding this thing to work and back.
Yeah.
but I am starting to want, something a little bit bigger, blah, blah, whatever.
Sure.
But I'll continue to ride it until it sells, and we'll do a reverse auction every month. I'll drop it.
He'll drop the price a little buck. Yeah, okay.
So then
that's
the
cool.
next month he's like, all right, it's up to 6,200 miles. And like the next month it was like 7,400. Then the next post was like, not for sale. The engine is no longer together at 8,000 miles. He goes, I thought it was a transmission problem. Just assumed because it sounded like a bag of rocks. And he goes, well, I got the new transmission, put it on, and it still sounds like a bag of rocks.
Yeah.
And at that point, it ceased functioning.
And that's because it is a scooter at its heart, because it does have a CVT. And yeah, a lot of times you can hear that weird noise, and you're like, something's wrong with my bike. And I'm like, yeah, it's a CVT. You finally have 5,000 miles on it. You're starting to hear CVT noises. Mm-hmm. Guys with high-end Vespa GTSs are like, oh, yeah, I got a problem with my bike. The valves sound like shit. And I'm like, no, dude, that's your CVT. That's your guides on your variator are just wearing in.
No.
Well, it's one of many.
That's the rivets on your clutch.
It could
loosening up, because that happens more often than not.
Yep, absolutely.
Because everybody goes, my thing's making weird. It sounds like a Ducati. That's your clutch.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's loosened up.
It's loosened up.
Y'all were posting about the Navi, and the first thing that came to mind, because this is a Honda, is that for a stretch of about 3 years, the Honda Ruckus and Honda Metropolitan used this weird. They didn't have a proper PCV. So what happened was the oil would it built up too much primary compression. One of the seals would fail, and then the main bearings would inevitably fail. And I'm thinking the same thing on this.
Here's an interesting thing I just figured out.
Uh-oh.
If you guys ever want to know, these manufacturers all the time are like, so last year we sold 35,000 Harley live wires. And you're like, you didn't sell 35,000 Harley live wires. You're fucking full of shit. Well, when they do a recall, and it's the kind of recall where you're like, oh, I know that affected every single bike out there, right? So when they do a recall of a particular part on a particular bike, sometimes they accidentally let you know how many of them they really sold without telling you the truth about how many they really sold.
Yep.
Right.
And it turns out that this is pretty interesting. I just popped this up. So Honda Motor Company has issued a recall for the Honda Navi. And it says it affects the 2022 model year. Well, that's the only model year that's existed of a Navi. That there wasn't a 21. Okay, great. And it's for the improper routing of the speedometer cable. Well, every Navi has a speedometer cable, and every Navi probably has the same speedometer cable. And I can tell you, based on the one that I had, I looked at the front speedometer cable and I went, that can't be right. There's an actual rubber ring for it to go through, and it wasn't going through the ring.
Oh, God.
Okay? Instead, it was dancing with the tire at a very close proximity, waiting to get sucked up into the fender. And so it turns out that there has been a recall, and this is where the truth. 15,848 Navis have been recalled. So now you know how many Navis went out into the world if 15,848 of them have been recalled.
Especially
You get that data.
And you think about that
So
when
there's no such thing as a rare Honda.
Navi, especially.
well, that's you think
So rare for Honda is 15,000 in
Exactly.
1 year.
Exactly. That's
but you think about that number, and you think about how much price gouging there's been on the Navi.
Oh, it's a proper profit bike.
Because like now that they're back down to 19, and everybody's going, well, I'm trying to sell my Navi that I bought for
And out of
$4,300.
15,000 of them, one blew up.
Right.
As far as we know.
Right.
As far as we know.
What's the first one?
Out
with
of 15,000 of
the
them,
first one with
one blew
8,000
up.
miles
Right.
on it.
Yeah, it is probably the first one with 8,000.
Well, and
miles.
it's like we got the recall notice last year for the Livewire, and it said it affected every single Livewire produced and sold, and it was 300 and some bikes. And I was like, wait a second, hold on. I saw the news, I saw the press release from Harley that said they sold 5,000 of them in the first year.
It affects
Off by
300.
They might have been, yeah.
decimal point.
Decimal point
345
over,
wires.
right? And that's that thing. It's like, it's sooner or later the truth comes out, and it really makes the marketing department look pretty sad. So yeah, that's that. So there you go. We've had a Navi failure. I did not take 1 second to look up to see if there has been a rash of Navi failures because it is at 0.02 on my fuck-a-meter. Now that the Navi that I had sold and I made a couple of bucks on it, then my opinion of Navi went up dramatically because you can turn a profit on a Navi within.
I think that was your one window.
Yeah. As long as you get it for less.
I think you got that. Your investment and your out on that one was just about perfect.
I wasn't even trying to sell it. They were like, sell me that.
Yeah.
Sell me that bike. And I was like,
Please.
man, you gotta be kidding me. I'm asking this much money. And they were like, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Johnny Mac says those things are great.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it. Yeah. You know what? This is the bike that Johnny Mac has said he loves. He loves this bike. I think I'm going to need to get another $100 out of you. Absolutely need another $100 out of you. Yeah, that's a real thing. Important safety tip, guys. Don't come to my shop trying to buy all the bikes that you see on Instagram because the pictures from EICMA. Those bikes aren't real, man. You can't buy a Dragster 550 or 449 two-stroke 6-speed transmission, whatever. That's not real.
I will believe it.
If it was real, he'd already have one.
I would already have 53 of them ordered.
When I have to rebuild the transmission.
Exactly. Absolutely. I will believe it when Genuine cashes my check.
Right.
When they take and they like, oh yeah, Phil, we added this to your flooring. Then I'll be like, okay, these bikes are coming. These bikes are on their way. But until then, please don't argue with your dealer when your dealer tells you, we can't get those yet.
If you really want to buy vaporware, I'll sell you vaporware. Just like lots of other people.
And
you know what?
You know what? Give me your $500 non-refundable down payment.
Fuck. No, I'm thinking we need to have at least half up front.
I'm thinking until they see you doing a burnout or a wheelie in the front of the shop, it doesn't exist.
I think that I'm wrong. I'm wrong. John's right. Call Cleveland Moto right now. Place your deposits on Italjet's completely bonkers 559cc twin with a 6-speed manual transmission and liquid cooling. Cleveland Moto is your source for the Italjet dragsters.
We're taking down payments, pre-orders.
That's right. Call now.
Get these at retail.
1-900.
You better get them in now. We'll sell you at
Cleveland
retail
Moto.
because when they come out, there's going to be a dealer
They are
premium.
going to fucking disappear.
And
these things are going to go away.
In a
instantly.
rare thing.
Yeah.
Phil is going to take trades this time. Whatever you want.
And
bring it in.
And more importantly, I'm going to sign each one.
Yeah.
I'm going to sign each and every one of them for the first 100 pre-orders.
We're going to run a push
For the first
We're going to run
100.
a push it, drag
Are you
it,
going to
pull
put a
it sale.
Filosi kit on them?
I'm going to put a Filosi kit on them.
Filosi.
That's
Push it.
right.
Push it, drag it, pull it. We will take it.
I promise you, we are going to do this. That's right. I take back my statement. That's right.
Johnny Mac, you were absolutely correct on this idea.
Call now, right now.
Non-refundable.
Does that thing have a fairing on the back of it? Like
It does.
a wing?
It does.
Wow.
It does. It has it on the front. It has it on the back. It has it.
Because MotoGP has it.
That's
obviously
right.
they had to put it on here.
That's right. There's wings on the front. There's wings that actually go out past the wheels.
yeah.
Yeah, there's wings on the front that go past the axles.
So those of you playing the home game, anybody that ever believes that Italjet's ever going to produce anything ever again?
Oh no, Tom. Tom's making these statements. I can tell you
These aren't renderings. These are production.
those are real
This is what
vehicles.
is going
That's
into
a
production.
real motorcycle.
I can tell you, but
Nobody ever
Pre-production.
Nobody put a motor inside of a Ruckus with like a SR 125.
no, hold on, because there are already people that live in other countries that are riding Italjet Dragster 200s.
Yeah, have they passed NHTSA and DOT and EPA?
No, they've passed far more stringent things like TÜV.
Well, I get it. But
Right.
have they done
Yeah.
the stupid bullshit that Americans have to do to get
Yeah,
motorcycles?
I don't want to piss on anybody's parade, but the point being, one step closer to getting them for real in the United States is the
Dude,
fact
if you
that
can sell Stellas in the United States, these aren't going to be a
Thank
problem.
you. Two-stroke. Let me introduce you to Jesse James' latest creation, and that somehow got sold.
No, please don't.
Right. But the point is that these 200cc dragsters are already rocking Europe, right? So that means that it's just a matter of the right forms and the right paperworks to get them here in America.
And
Quick sidebar.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned him. Jesse James and all your other favorite 90s and 2000s chopper stars have formed their own television network where they're going to subscription only, and it's going to be uncensored this time. So you get to get all the fucks and shit.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
They're bringing the choppers back.
You're fucking kidding me, man. Really?
I swear to God, dude.
No way.
All the guys that hated each other that played everybody because they were all just getting paid.
You know what?
So it's like Roland Sands, Jesse James, the OCC guys, all that are all in bed together.
I always
now.
empathized with the guy for West Coast Choppers that did all the bullshit like 3 o'clock in the morning building the bike so they actually ran.
Wow.
Yeah, but I thought that was pretty, just a sidebar because you hit that Jesse James and my brain hit it. But yeah, that's going to be interesting.
So yes, baby, the mid 2000s chopper with all the billet chrome and the thunder.
What did Johnny Chrome call those?
Ass jewelry.
No, I called them $40,000 butt jewelry.
Butt jewelry.
That was my term. But he had a real name for them. Oh. There was a real category name for them because I was like, we can't call them
choppers.
They're not.
It was something related to street rod or something. I thought no.
Top Fuel, no.
I mean,
Pro Street.
Pro Street.
He called them Pro Street. That was the term that he had for
Pro
them.
Street.
He called those Pro Street bikes.
Pro Street walkers. Yeah.
I don't know. They rode like shit.
Oh yeah, no. You know, you can find the edge of a tire when you're riding a big dog Mastiff.
We spent a little time as the only shop in town that would work on a Sucker Punch Sally bike, and I can tell you, they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty awful.
Well, even like the one I was riding was a Borgette, and it was like a really
That's
high.
a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was an $80,000. My old boss that owned the studio bought him, right? And it was the 13-foot long Python, and it rode like it was like you had to have a parking lot to turn around.
Oh yeah,
in.
they ran like ass.
I mean, driving down the road at 45, it was all right.
Yeah.
The highway, it had a rigid tail. Yeah. If you hit anything above 1 inch on a crack, your ass was like 3 feet in the air. Like it would just send you.
I pulled this up on the screen just because, for a lot of people, they're like, Italjet, what's an Italjet? I sold a few Italjets back in the days.
The Velocifero was the most amazing bike.
I sold a few of their bikes. I sold a few of their dragsters.
Easy for you to say.
Right. But look at that on the right-hand side of the screen. Not only are these available, they're in the used market.
Wow.
And they're not expensive.
Oh, wow.
So a 200cc liquid-cooled bike is £36.99, right? So you're looking at about $4,600. That's for a used Italjet dragster. And there's more than a handful of them up there. They exist. And when they were originally talking about this a couple of years ago, they were like, oh, these are going to be $10,000 or whatever. They're not. They're selling brand new in the UK for 5,499 pounds. So about $6,400, $6,500. So that's real. Now the question is, are we going to get that fucking nutso 560? Is there going to be a 2-cylinder 560cc 6-speed manual transmission with a clutch?
That sounds awesome, man.
It does sound awesome. I mean, yeah, it's a parade of angles that don't make sense.
Which makes it even awesomer.
Which makes it awesome.
Look, the 4 or 5 people who actually buy them new are going to love these bikes for 6 months.
You know what it is, though? Dude, if they come out with that thing...
Yep.
Jeremy Clarkson, he says that if you wanted the most absurd, ridiculous car, you have to get a Lamborghini.
Right.
It's just absurd.
Yes.
Everything about it, the way it looks, everything, but you
Yeah.
also get the performance. I think that would be like a Lamborghini type scooter, right? Like it'd just be ridiculous. Like,
Yes, it's
But
it's a 560cc 6-speed manual transmission, liquid cooled.
two-stroke?
No, not a 2-stroke.
Oh, okay.
no,
I thought it was
it's
two-stroke.
But
No.
but still,
Yeah.
this is fucking crazy, man. This is crazy. Now, I will say, different than the scooter one, it doesn't have the center hub steering. So this big monster 560 has traditional upside-down forks. Mm-hmm. So is it really a scooter, or is it just a motorcycle with a gas tank in the wrong spot?
only do cutting nose.
Right. But I fucking love it.
That
I don't
looks
care.
pretty good, dude. If that's real, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Is it real?
well, there's at least one.
Yeah, there's at least one. Right, there's one. We know there's one. Can we buy it? Yes, you can come down to Cleveland Moto and you can put your deposit down. I'm only going to ask you for half the money down right now.
As soon as they're available, we'll
That's
get
fine.
you one.
You'll be great. Yep. And then Meckelfresh will sign every one of them.
Right?
Yep. It's
non-refundable
perfect.
cash.
Fuck it, perfect. Yes, exactly. Right. Cash only deposit. For deposits are all cash only.
We would accept trades.
Italjet officially stated that the Dragster 559 Twin, as displayed at the EICMA 2023, is largely final. Oh, okay. All right. I like that. Yeah. I did mention that they might switch to spoke wheels. I think that's a mistake. Yeah. I think that's a mistake. I think what they got on is perfectly fine. That's totally fine. And you know what? I don't care. If it's $10,000, I'll have one at my shop.
Yeah.
I'll have at least one. And I know that one Fruit Loop is going to come in and buy one.
Yeah.
And you know what color he's going to buy? Whatever color I don't have in stock.
Yep.
I guarantee it. So whatever color I have is not the color that will sell first at Cleveland Moto. Yep. And if they come in 3 different colors, I'm not going to buy all 3 colors. That is a kiss of death. That is the way to have 2 colors that don't sell ever, that you end up discounting 2 years later. Yep. Yeah. If they come in red, white, and black, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. It's Italian, so you have to get red by law.
Yeah,
By
yeah,
law, you have to get red. Don't care. Love it. It's cool. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. That's a totally ridiculous motorcycle, and I'd buy it right now.
In the days of racing, so you had Britain green, right? Or
Yeah.
British green.
Yeah, British Racing
And then
Green.
you had Italian red.
Of course.
So what was America's, what was our...
Black and goddamn orange.
Was it?
Black bike,
just
orange
Harley.
stripe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, black, orange stripe. And in the 70s, it would have been red, white, and blue. And then eventually Honda co-opted that. But yeah, Harley Davidson was red, white, and blue for a long time. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And like when there were the team colors, when they would dole out the team colors, that was always a big thing. The Italians were red. And then eventually Honda grabbed that. So yeah, it's a really, really weird thing. Did anybody watch any of the Las Vegas Formula One?
Just
All 7.5 minutes of it?
yeah, right.
It was not a long race.
Yeah, that was awful.
I was supposed to be in Vegas at 2 weeks before that when they were getting ready for it. And the group I was supposed to be there with was like, no, the whole town is destroyed. The whole town is fucked. You can't get anywhere. We're canceling our event. We got to wait until this whole Formula One thing is over. Did anybody see the way that they turned the city of Las Vegas into a racetrack and then were shocked that it didn't work?
Well, not only that, but instead of promoting it and letting people see, just off the things, they blacked out all the streets. They literally put up things around the whole racetrack.
They made sure you couldn't enjoy it. Right.
What a bunch of dicks.
You have to look up the Sergio Perez introduction by Bruce Buffer.
Oh, really?
Because it's they didn't do very good at communicating to anyone. He was supposed to be getting in this old car to take his lap like they do for the Formula One.
Right.
But Sergio Perez walks up to Bruce Buffer and and Bruce Buffer's like, what the fuck are you doing? Just standing there,
Right.
and he had no clue.
He had no idea.
What he was supposed to be doing. And then there's just people running everywhere behind him. And then the kicker is this week, I saw practice today.
Mm-hmm.
The turnaround for this race was Abu Dhabi.
Exactly.
It's 3 days between.
Yeah, exactly.
Abu Dhabi.
Right.
It's
How in the hell are you going to do that? Yeah.
It's so messed
bonkers. And everybody's talking
money
about
grab.
it's
Huge money grab.
Vegas is the second or the first coldest race they're going to run.
Yeah.
When everything on these cars is super heat sensitive, especially the tires and the traction and everything else. And then they design a course that is so fucking reliant upon traction where there's 2 massive straights, but they both go into 90s. And they both go into crazy 90-degree turns.
Second fastest course, right?
Yeah.
Second highest top speed.
Yep.
And I think Spa or whatever.
Right. And the least adhesion. So you're like, this is a
worst.
terrible combination. So yeah, I was
Did you see the video of signs blowing the fucking sewer?
popped a
cap
sewer
off?
cap off and ripped the bottom of his car out.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's literally a car that runs
Yeah.
on vacuum,
Pure vacuum.
and it's
Yeah.
gonna suck anything not.
It
tight
was.
They used to weld the sewer
They
lids
still do.
down
Oh,
in
yeah.
Columbus.
They still do. That's that's the deal here.
Well,
but
that was
because
the-
this was like a 4-inch or 5-inch
yeah, that's
cap,
right, that's right.
It wasn't a manhole cover.
Right.
Yep.
I don't think they welded it down. Consequently, it ripped the bottom out of a car.
It sucks.
It's just the whole thing is. This is Vegas saying, "Fuck you, we're Vegas. We're gonna have fucking golf courses in the middle of the desert. We're going to have fountains in the middle of the desert. We are going to defy everything that makes sense.
Well, and think about this: F1, all the heads of F1 and stuff are already snooty motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
And now, like they've been, but at the same time,
Yeah.
they do take respect seriously, right?
Yeah.
So Vegas just kind of like threw them the middle finger, shit on them, and everything. Like, can you imagine? They're never coming back to this. Like they're pissed.
They're
for
scheduled
10
to.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That event's gone on for 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
They have no backing out of
There's
it.
no backing out.
Yeah.
The money's paid.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
They built a gigantic,
Yeah.
right there at 1 and 2. They built
Yeah.
a gigantic event.
So they got to do this again.
for 10 years.
Yep, for 10 years.
Oh my god.
Yep, for 10 years.
That's
they
why they're
bought
so pissed.
all this property
Yep.
up. Yeah, all this property up. It is all paid for. Yep.
The only thing
and it's a
that may
shithole
change
too.
is-
It's part of Vegas nobody would ever care about, so it's perfect for this event. But yeah, but it's a 10-year contract.
And just the date. That's the only thing they're
Yeah.
going to probably change because of like he was
The
saying,
temperature.
The temperature.
It was such a mistake. It was just like you can't drive these cars slow. There's no such thing as like I'm going to take it easy on it, because then everything dies. Everything doesn't work if you take it easy on it. So it has to be driven like a Formula One car, and this is not a place that you can do that. And plus, it's just Vegas. At the end of the day, you're going to have 17 drunks wandering out onto the fucking course. This is not Isle of Man. This is not a high sense of reverence to this. This is Vegas. I want to cross fucking Las Vegas Boulevard, and I don't care. You can't stop me. Yeah.
I've watched Formula since the early 90s when Senna and everybody
Mm-hmm.
was in. And not that I'm better than the new fans, but
Yeah.
all the new people that caught it on Netflix,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, it's so great. This is, how fast they're going and did it. I was like, go back and watch Art and Senna run Monaco back in '98 when you actually had to shift the car
Yep.
and drive with one hand. And it was like a 1,000 horsepower go-kart, Like, that is wild.
It's a big change.
Having watched it in Austin, the best thing I can tell you is watch it in a fucking bar. Watch it in a bar. Don't pay $1,000 for tickets. Go to a bar. Watch it on the big screen. Get drunk. You can even do it infield.
Yeah,
Watch
there's
it because
dude.
I watch it infield.
There's something about, man, like when the mini Le Mans, like the American Le Mans series would race.
You mean Indy?
No, the actual Le Mans, like
Okay.
the GTP cars and stuff.
Oh, yeah, all right.
And I went to Mid Ohio, and like when you're standing at the end of the straightaway, and all those fuckers are like, even that 1 second is kind of worth being there. That's pretty bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what the worst thing to watch live is? Like in one person. I have been to NASCAR races.
Oh, yeah.
The wrecks happen 2 miles away. Because the only reason you go to a fucking NASCAR, the only reason you give a shit about NASCAR is to watch that shit explode.
I still wouldn't
And
go.
the people at NASCAR races are fantastic.
Only in the
Is that the deal?
Only-
That's just the deal?
only in the
people-
infield.
That's why you go?
You have
Yeah.
to go in the infield.
I've never been.
You have to be at
as
party
a
inside.
kid, my stepdad used to love NASCAR. And he would take us to like Bristol and all these. And I'm just like, as a kid, I'm just looking around like, man, these people they're special.
It's a shit show.
They're fucking special.
Now that I could get into. That's the part of the motorsport that I'm really, really into.
Everywhere I go, I wear my Dale Earnhardt Raise Hell Praise Dale shirts, and I get the fucked up most odd looks. And my wife gets so mad. She's just like, people are like, he's like, hey, that guy over there with all the tattoos and shit's eventually going to be like the Go Brandon guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Everybody in the infield is a future suspect.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's like
It's wild.
Person of interest.
at Indy, you got to do the snake pit. The snake pit at Indy in the infield. You'll never imagine Mid Ohio, but just for cars.
Yeah.
But only in like an area.
Okay.
So like these people are all they're partying and stuff, but the
All
snake
right.
pit is an
Is at the Indy 500?
yeah. You can look it up.
I'm
Snake.
looking it up right now. It
My buddy's-
auto completed. Yeah, it absolutely. Oh, it's presented by Coors Light.
yeah.
Even better.
It's the ultimate festival of fun, friends, and some of the biggest electronic music acts in the world.
Oh, God.
Well, there you go. Electron. Yeah, see,
It gets crazy.
Yeah.
But see, that must have grown because like when there was no sponsored by anybody. It was just the snake pit.
I just think
Now the
it's
snake pit is.
Well, see, now
compromised.
Now we have to reach out to our Patreons to raise money so that we can afford to go to this event
okay.
and report back.
Yeah, I'm always into a good time, but right. The funny thing was when I looked up what I thought where it says this is on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's website, and it says Snake Pit, the whole deal, and you know what I can see? I can tell you that it's got the prices. It says prices. It says
Yeah.
prices
Yeah.
increase. There's a little bit of a run in the background of some EMD stage going on, right?
Yeah, that's not what it used to be.
But at nowhere is there a point. There's no picture other than these 4 ladies with their tongues out.
Yep.
There's no picture that's like, oh yeah, this is what a snake pit's all about. You learn less from clicking on this website than you do listening to somebody that wasn't there talk about it. Because I can't tell you, I'm getting nothing from this. This is giving me no
well, that's-
information.
It used to just be a big party. They must have compromised the name and fucking
Compromise the name. There's hundreds of thousands of people in that.
Well, that's
snake
what
pit.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
They have what do you call it? Commercialized.
Sold the fuck out?
it. Yeah.
Have they sold the fuck out, Steve?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Let's see how much the tickets are.
It.
Yeah, this is amazing to me. I have
Remember,
no idea.
kids, it's not selling out.
It's buying
cashing in.
Yeah, that's right. I'm buying in. I'm not selling out. I'm buying in. They won't tell you the prices.
Pilsner?
Yeah, they won't give you they're not giving me any idea about the prices. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. $145.
Pilsner.
That's actually not expensive.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I got laws, no white claws.
The Snake Pit VIP package is on sale right now for $190. It's normally $290. And that gives you a race day ticket and a Snake Pit VIP wristband.
Well, they're having a Miller Lite Carp Day.
It's not that bad.
Light carb, Miller Lite.
Snake Pit general admission is 85 buckartonis. It's not expensive, right?
Not bad, but still.
Yeah, right.
There-
You
there's
can also
no-
buy carbon offsets, so that's nice. You can buy carbon offsets for the Indy 500.
That's the important part.
That really is. Oh my God, Sunday.
Save the environment.
So Steve, you'll be happy to know that there's 5 EDM superstars.
Wonderful.
One
but-
epic concert in you.
Who
The
are
world's
they?
biggest DJs
No, I
are
need
here.
these answers. What's the playlist?
I don't know. I don't know if they have one up yet. I don't think they do.
Well, that sucks.
I don't think they do. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So anyway,
it's going to be some food DJ like, Graham Cracker or some shit like that.
If it's the world's biggest, it might be Shaquille O'Neal
It could be
because he's
worse.
literally
He's
the
fucking
biggest.
huge, isn't he? Is he's an EDM? He's an EDM
Yeah, he's
DJ.
he is a DJ.
He
He
is?
goes to like all the crazy parties in Europe. Like if you look him up, he goes to what's the big one in Europe? Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
like he's front row every year.
He is.
Yeah, he's huge.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's badass. That's
so
badass.
he is the world's.
He's
biggest
actually in the
DJ.
15th row, but he just looks like he's in the front row.
Oh yeah, no, he's into it.
That's a big dude, man.
Hold on.
Wow, this is going down some rabbit
The
holes
Indy
today.
500 Snake Pit lineup includes headliner Cascade, Shaq, Subtronics, John Summit, DJ, and that's DJ Diesel, who's Shaquille
Yeah.
O'Neal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's huge into racing. He's always at the Formula One events.
Makes
like,
perfect-
You did call it, though. He
We just
literally
had his pizza
called it.
tonight.
That's true.
Yeah, we just had
He's
his
the
pizza
world's
tonight.
biggest
Craft
pizza.
services didn't show up this
It's
week. Well,
Jaws, whatever, Jaws. I'm probably saying it wrong. DJ Diesel, John Summit, Subtronics, Cascade. I like that he's called DJ Diesel.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Well, yeah, because the
pretty
joke
neat.
forever was Shaq Diesel.
Yep, there he is.
Shaq Diesel.
There you go. And if you want to go to the Indy 500 and go to the Snake Pit Festival, you can see Shaq. Shaq can be spinning for you for 140 buckatonis to get you a VIP pass.
And you can be in the
Sponsored
67th
by
row. You're
Coors
still
Light.
going to see him.
yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
You can't not miss him.
Right.
He's-
Go to
he's-
the EDM show?
I don't know, but they
actually-
did sell it that way. They did sell it. I'm sure they. I'm sure
nobody's
they have
gonna
a
force
general
you to
admission
watch the
entrance,
race, dude.
right?
I don't even watch
Nobody's going to force you to watch the race. You can't make me watch that goddamn
a
race.
discount for saying I'm not going to run.
Right, exactly.
I'm actually
I'm
watched.
not going to watch the
Yep,
race.
absolutely.
And you
I
can't
think,
make me.
I think that's a good idea. I'm okay. I've totally changed my tune on this. I
Watch
would
Shaq
totally go to
do
that.
a set on YouTube, and
Yeah.
it looks like he's swapping CDs insteed of records.
Oh, really? Because his hands are
big.
so fucking big.
It's hilarious. I mean, he can take
He's
a seat
palming
just-
12-inch records, just
Exactly. Just throws them
Yeah,
down.
nice. Good for that's fucking cool, man. I like that. I'm a fan. And I said so. General admission for that, John. You can buy just general admission. It's $50.
Yes.
Yes, that's it. Wait outside.
Where's the RV park?
You know it's Indy.
Yeah.
So that's going to be $1 million. That's it. So having the RV ticket for the infield at Indy, that's going to be where You can't do it because they're booked out 20 years in advance. Yeah, that's the
They're
problem.
changing
there.
a lot of these tracks over though, like the NASCAR tracks.
Yeah.
the back stretches, tearing them out and putting the RV.
Yeah, putting the RV parts
spots.
in there.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that doesn't shock me at all because there is such a clientele that absolutely positively they got to be there with their RV. Yep. That's it. They're touring all of them. I got friends that's exactly what they do.
Yep.
And they won't miss
But
shit.
I mean, that is kind of cool though. Like if you had a cool RV, it's like you're in your living room and then
Yeah.
you're at a festival. And
Oh,
then
well,
you're in your
yeah.
living room and then you're like when you rented at Mid Ohio.
Believe me.
Great, yeah.
Believe me. There is nothing cooler than being where we were in 105 degree weather
Yeah.
with outside air conditioning. It's like we're sitting on the patio.
Yeah.
The RV has a patio?
Yeah.
You mean a garage with an elevated garage platform? It sure does.
Yep.
Mid Ohio is $300 and you don't even get a fucking electric. Meanwhile,
true.
any state park is $30 a day.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right.
We
So the
camp
trick
a
is
lot.
to have the camping, find the nearest state park to Mid Ohio. Camp there and commute in and out. Yeah. Have your party at the I don't think there's one anywhere near goddamn close, but yeah.
Oh, we got to compromise one of the neighbors and rent their backyard and be like, so we could do more interesting
Compromise the
things.
neighbor directly across from where we camp
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Compromise that person.
Yes.
Let's give them $800 to go away for the weekend.
I
Yeah.
think don't they get paid to go away? Doesn't the track, somebody said the track sends them away for that weekend.
That's the smartest
That
thing
house
I've
right
heard in a
over there,
minute.
They're like, yeah, it's ridiculous. So they send them on a vacation.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they beat us to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a great idea.
So we know nobody's there.
So we know they're not there.
Just camp in their yard.
Yeah. And you know what? I've been working on my tunneling skills. So we just make a little tunnel underneath that fence. Make a little tunnel.
I
And
bet
just
there's already one there. Somebody has to have already thought of this.
See, we should be aging whiskey. We should have in our spot that we get every year. We should.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, allegedly.
allegedly.
We should age. Put some stuff in the dirt, man.
Allegedly. I agree with that. I like that idea. I'm a fan. Go ahead, Dan.
So since it's Black Friday, who's ready to get their Christmas presents?
Oh, already?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I've got Bruce Smith too, but I didn't bring him out yet. Dan's firing shots across the bow early.
It's not even December.
I just got my
Dude.
Pass them down.
Wait, I was talking about this earlier. I said, we're gonna do a
Sure. Oh,
Tacky-
Christmas
tacky
popper style.
sweater.
Nice. This is
hey.
heavier than it should be. This is heavier than it should be.
Dan, I'm gonna end up giving you one of these fireballs, by the way.
Andy gets one, yeah.
Sure. He brought it.
Yeah.
If you're here and Chris isn't, you get his present.
Christmas
That's just
isn't
the way it
here.
works. Yep.
Okay.
Is it pop?
You take the end of mine. Are we supposed to pop?
Oh, no.
Wait,
All right, I'm going in. I'm going in.
Sorry, Tom.
What?
Sorry, Tom.
Oh, about what?
Oh, mine's a can.
Oh.
Mine's a can of butane.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, baby.
I've got the whippets.
But wait, there's more.
Crap.
Wait, there is more. Oh, now I get the second half of the joke.
Oh, we're going on fuego now.
Yeah, we are going on fuego.
Hey, remember
Oh, these are delightful.
wait,
cool.
Do you have a fire extinguisher back here?
All right. I can never remember. Are we supposed to hold the can up or down when we
I
fill
always
it?
hold it upside down.
You do?
That's right.
Okay.
I thought what would be the best gift for a bunch of guys who like to see things burn and explode?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey.
I'm a fan.
Dan, you don't have to apologize to me.
Oh my God!
You
Check
have-
out the turbo on that.
You have
I'm
to
on fire.
You have to apologize to the property owner, my
Yeah, that's
landlord.
it. Yeah, we paid the fire insurance. Yeah, we made sure to pay the fire insurance. This is nice, Dan. Thank
Mine
you.
doesn't work.
Yes, it will.
I'm
You gotta-
freezing my hand here.
No, you got to do it in one shot, man.
Well, they're already gassed up. You
Here.
don't have to gas them up.
Here, go ahead and give me yours, Sleepy.
Look,
Give me yours. Pass it down.
it's
Oh,
broken.
I thought they were.
Pass it down. Pass it down.
I'm frozen.
There's
happy to-
there's different tips in the.
You don't need them. Yeah, this is
Oh, and mine is not spraying everywhere.
You got to
is a
figure
standard.
out which is the right tip.
it's the one that's on it.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it came pre-tipped.
what the fuck? It's empty.
Look, see?
Oh, that was.
Ian,
I'm telling you, man. I'm not completely. I am special needs, but
Let me try mine.
you know,
All I did was freeze my hand too.
if you're gonna, Dan, you don't have to worry about apologizing because.
Oh, here you go.
oh,
end
so
of the
it's this
day-
thing.
There you go. You're full now. So hey, your tip's a little tippy. So what you're gonna do is just find the tip on that thing that fits it, and then put it over this. Your tip's a little wonky. When you get home, clip your tip.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you're good. If anyone else needs help, I'll be happy to help you.
I did mine perfectly.
Yes, you did. Of course you did. Yeah, look at that. We got fire.
I wrapped this one and then I was bagging them up and I'm like, there's no fucking propane in that one.
You got a weak one?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Totally empty.
Oh, that's crazy.
Ooh, nice crack.
Nice. That is a very good crack lighter. That's for all your shrimp wrapping needs.
Oh yeah.
Solder with these
Good one.
nicely.
Yeah, that's totally a soldering iron right there. That is a soldering iron. Well, thank you very much. I have gifts for next time too, so we'll have to bring those out.
Unlimited supply of fuel.
But that's a very utilitarian present.
Don't get too far ahead of yourself. We are having the tacky Christmas.
We'll do
sweater
a tacky.
party.
We'll do a tacky sweater party.
Yeah.
Yep. Tacky sweater party. Yep. That's cool. Thank you, Dan. I will burn something in your honor.
Oh, I definitely
All
will.
right.
Get on her, stay on her. That's it. Yay. Boom. Hey, anybody want to hear some words from our Patreons?
Oh, they do pay for it. So
Yeah, they do pay. God bless their
Yeah,
little
let's-
hearts.
yeah.
They do pay for it.
Thank you, Dan.
thank
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Great Christmas present. Yes.
The tree will be up next year.
Thank you, Christmas hippie.
Thank you, Christmas hippie.
Yeah, man.
All right. So here we go. I like that sound. I do like that sound. Do it again.
Yeah.
I like that. That touches all the buttons, man.
I think he burned my eyeball.
Oh, I like it. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Sean O'Hara. Sean O'Hara.
Sean O'Hara.
Sean O'Hara.
Sean O'Hara.
There can be only one.
Shauna. No, it's Sean O'Hara.
So Sean O'Hara. It's Sean O'Hara. See it?
Sean O'Hara.
Sean O'Hara. O'Hara.
O'Hara. No, it's O'Hara.
Hold on, I couldn't hear you. I had my finger in my
Sean
ear.
O'Hara.
All right. All right. I didn't feel beneficial enough at the $10 level. He upped his membership to
Nice.
$20.
Very nice.
$20,
I will-
man.
I will
$20.
drink- I will drink scotch in your honor.
But hold on.
What can we do?
No, he gets something for that, remember? He's a fucking legend.
Oh, nice.
He
All
is
right.
fucking legend.
So he says, the question is, if I show up with a crave case of sliders,
Oh,
can I sit in on the show?
Yeah.
They'll probably be cold by the time I make it there, but they'll taste the same. 1, we have an oven. 2, bring the jalapeno ones.
right.
So cheese,
I can't even eat this, but yeah, bring it.
cheese, bring the cheese, bring a case of cheesies, bring a case of jalapenos. And because the oven's here, we'll just throw them in the oven and they'll be just as good. I've reheated those sons of bitches 2-3 times.
We'll make it work.
I like
What
onion
state is
petals
this dude
The
from?
onion petals, yeah. Sean O'Hara?
What state?
Sean
I'll have to
O'Hara.
look him up. Give me a second. I can
Count
find
it down.
out more about him.
Come on, man.
Well, if we're talking about favors.
Right. I mean,
Find out
hey.
what state
Yeah,
he's from.
we'll figure it
Right,
out.
we'll figure it out. Exactly. He's been a member since 2019. All right. Yeah. That's it. So he's one of these guys that's. I'm going to read you one. I'm going to read you one of my favorite posts from him. You guys want to hear a great post from Sean O'Hara?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. And by the way, this guy's a triple extra large.
Oh, big guy.
So right.
That's going to be a lot
We
of stuff.
belly bucking.
That's going to be a lot of stuff in that box.
Dear Unky Phil and friends, fuck you.
I already like this one.
Wait, is this
gonna be
Hawkeye?
good.
Wait, Sean is it
Sean O'Hara.
He does the hawkery, right?
I'm gonna read you this letter. I just have to read the letter.
I think he does falconry.
Okay. So between my father and I, we've been doing everything we can to instill a sense of motorcycling adventures to my young nephew. He just celebrated his 8th birthday. I started him off on JR50 a year and a half ago. The problem is this 8-year-old has the body of a 10-year-old. So the JR left him feeling a little bit crunched.
Yep.
So for his birthday, my dad left it to me to find him the next step up. The modern manufacturers go straight from 2-stroke 50s to 4-stroke 110s. Using Unky Phil's method of modern thought tactics in relation to fuel vaporization techniques as it applies to ease of maintenance, my choice was clear. I had to have the only fuel-injected bike in its class, the CRF 110. That's right.
That's a good boy.
My heart was set. No longer would I need to worry about carb issues and whether or not I could trust my brother-in-law to be able to perform light maintenance on the bike without resorting to calling me. It's fuel-injected. It was perfect, right up until I attempted to locate one. I contacted 7 dealers. Each of them were back ordered. Alas, the young man's birthday hits as everyone received their stimulus checks. Was it fair? No. We had already been planning to purchase the bike months ago. What was an uncle and grandfather to do? And then, you sons of bitches got SSRs. So I says to myself, Self, if Unky Phil and the gang give ringing endorsements to the SSRs, let's go take a look. If you recall, I asked about the differences between pit bikes and dirt bikes a few weeks ago. When I saw the SSR lineup at my local dealer, sorry, Phil, Dad's newly replaced hip prevented me from driving him to Cleveland, from Columbus. I was impressed with the selection. I was still apprehensive about the small tires on the SR 110, but then a light shone from the heavens. Angelic melodies rang forth. It was meant to be. The SR 110 TR. That's the one with the big wheels.
Yeah.
14 inches in the front, 12 inches in the rear. Upside down forks, 1.75 gallon gas tank, leaf on motor, Mikuni 16 millimeter carb. And when they started this thing up for the birthday boy, vocal. More vocal than the other 2 bikes in the line. Now, as I said, this is an 8-year-old. The concept of clutch is not understandable enough to him. We got it in the semi-automatic version. Even in this slightly handicapped variant, I was elated with how easily it hauled my 6'2", 275 shaved ape self around the yard at a good clip. Yeah, they're going to do it. Mm-hmm. As for the boy, I got everything all warmed up for him. I told him if he wanted to ride it, he'd need to learn how to kickstart it. This was a laugh enough as I saw him struggle. So being the good uncle that I am, I told him he'd get there soon, and I kicked the monster to life for him. We went over the controls again, a gentle reminder of what does what and where to find it. Remember that I said his last bike was JR50? No matter how much you instruct an 8-year-old on the importance of throttle control, they never do quite understand until they put the nose to the grindstone, do they? As the boy was orienting himself, I looked over at my sister and told her jokingly, he's going to go through the fence. Well, not quite. As the boy grabbed a handful of whiskey throttle, he proceeded to propel the bike forward. But in the most comical example of Newton's first law of motion, he performed a backward somersault over the rear fender as the bike rolled forward without him. Luckily, no fence required mending, no hospital visits were necessary, and the bike asked for no replacement parts after picking it up from its fitful nap in the yard.
Damn, this dude needs to write books.
Exactly. So this is a long story meant to express my thanks at your applause for a Chinese bike that should do well in the hands of a growing boy, developing the skills necessary to make it to Erzberg. Thank you, gentlemen, for the laughs and company. Can't wait to get together. Maybe the boy will let his Uncle Sean borrow his dirt bike just to see how it holds up against those SR 125s. Until next time, take a swallow of your favorite spirit from me. Gents, your fellow inebriate, Sean O'Hara.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking A, man. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Again, can't possibly say what a great letter that was. And
dude, that was amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
I was
that
edge
is
of the
some
seat,
good
hanging
writing.
on. Dude can write, man. That was
I'm telling you,
excellent.
man, we do good. Our listeners
Yeah.
are fucking aces. Absolutely aces. So anyway, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but we're not even lying this time. Like that, he's really good.
I know. So on one of our other podcast Patreons, Rowdy Reimer. I like that. Gotta love that. Rowdy Reamer. It's probably Rowdy Reamer. But anyway, he says, I'm listening to the discussion podcast and I heard the discussion about taking weapons when motorcycling. Yeah. Maybe for traveling through Canada, a takedown carbine might be an option. This is something that I've seen more and more in the news about bears being where bears aren't supposed to be. Or humans being where they're not supposed to be.
That's kind of the way to, yeah.
Right. And so if nature decides it wants the quarter acre that your subdivision is on, then the bear's going to come back. Mm-hmm. But the problem is when you get between bear A and bear B, bad shit happens, right? And I do understand that. And I've been thinking more and more about like the idea of, is it not a bad idea to have a firearm? Like, just something, under 6 inches and, concealable to be legal in our state,
Even a pocket rocket 357, revolver,
a
hammerless.
judge, right?
Oh, like the little hammerless one.
Oh, you mean like a CW, like a little Taurus Model 85 or something?
If
Yeah.
I got to fight a bear, I'd sure rather use that than
Fuck
nothing.
yeah, absolutely.
And I think a 357, everybody says,
Right.
oh, Oh, that'll just bounce off him. My 357's not bouncing off a bear.
No, they're
And also,
very strong.
don't they
If
say-
nothing
very
else,
powerful.
it's going to make a hell of a bang.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Don't they say a lot of it? The noise
The
is what
noise.
scares a bear
Right.
away.
Right.
Unnatural
Just
things.
you squeeze the hammer 4 times. If the bear hasn't left, you save the 5th for yourself.
If I have a
Because when he's fucking you, you're going to wish you were dead.
If I have a 22, I don't care. I'm going to shoot him as many times as I can with that. Because why not?
Just look for meaty things like eyes and snouts and
I totally, yeah.
I get it that it's a bear.
Right.
And I don't have nearly as thick a skin as a bear.
Right.
But a 22 would go through a lot of stuff. It's not going to be like,
Again.
oh, that didn't hurt.
It's not because I'm going to be trying to shoot this animal when he's a mile and a half away. This is going to be a me or you situation.
I mean,
And-
you can
yeah.
put a cow down with a 22 to its skull.
Exactly. And if once I've thrown my other 2 fast friends in front of the bear, right? Because I'm the slow guy. I'm the guy who can't run. So it's literally, I'm going to have to shoot you in the leg and shoot you in the leg. So that's 2 rounds. And now the bear's going to
one
eat
of them in the leg, but you just
Right.
wanted to make sure.
I want to make sure. Right. Yeah. I want to shoot them both in the leg because the first guy's going to fall. The bear's going to work with him. The second guy's going to run away, and he's going to tell what happened.
There's no way you can pass up 2 meals.
Can you
Exactly,
imagine
true.
the gamut of emotions? Like your buddy just fucked and hosed you, and that's like, oh. And then you turn and look, and there's a fucking bear about to eat you, and now it's ah. And so like you're just bouncing up and down, and then you're dead.
I was in my young teen years when my father shot me.
No, you don't.
Okay? I was 12-ish.
Yeah.
And I knew that we didn't have a great relationship, but I didn't think shooting me was a real viable option. But number 6 shot hurts
I'm sure.
from 60, 70 feet away. Yeah, it hurts. There's a decent pattern still there. And it did. I had more than 4 pellets in each leg. Yeah. And that was, I mean, I know it was a hunting accident, but I will admit my amount of lip dropped dramatically after that. Like, you thought I had no lip after that. For a little while, I gave that man a very wide berth. Yeah. I'm not saying it worked. I'm just saying it shut me up for a little while.
You're like, I know what that did. Can a rake damage me? I don't know.
Oh, my dad had size 15 shoes, and he threw a work boot at me one time, knocked me down a short flight of stairs from the living room. I mean, a size 15 Timberland thrown by a guy 6'4" and over 300 pounds. It's got some, yeah, it's got some torque. Yeah.
It's a ninja boot.
It just, no, it hit hard.
Yeah.
It hit me like 155 millimeter.
Phil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taekwondo leap.
Taekwondo leap. Yeah.
Boot to the head.
Boot to the head. Boot to the head. So that's that. So that's pretty cool. I wanted to read you guys that because that's pretty badass. And then there's one more I wanted to read you guys.
I hate you. I hate you a lot.
Let me see your lighter.
Okay, here we go. How about something from?
Touching you off right now. You're going.
Touching you.
Let's do something European. I'm a peeing. We're all a peeing.
I'm not peeing. I peed earlier.
From Arthur. Don't light that by that natural gas.
What?
I hope he goes off.
He's gonna blow your pants up.
Right up his poop hole.
All right.
It smells like burnt hair over here.
I'm gonna try to get this right and not fuck it up. This is from the Netherlands.
This is a waste gas burner now.
It is a waste gas burner, but you are making life easier for us over here by burning off his extra fuel.
Right.
An email from a loyal listener of the podcast. You guys are the sound wall in my workshop. I've never heard that before. You're the sound wall. You are the sound wall in my workshop. As here in the Netherlands, anything below 300 cc's is considered a bicycle. Every Dutch person gets at least 2 at birth. Or a vehicle to get you from age 16 to age 18. You must understand, I cannot share your enthusiasm there. Doesn't keep me from laughing myself to tears listening to your discussions. For me, it is rebuilding crashed bikes. Currently rebuild and own. Ducati Multistrada 1000 crashed against a car. Ducati 750 Supersport 94 forgot to take a turn.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It gets better.
It's just a jump to the left.
Laverta 750 SF drum brake 72
Wow.
nice, cool.
was
I'm in
used as an Italian flower pot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in that.
An XT650 got hit by a car after 100,000 kilometers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right?
An XT.
An XT600.
Wow.
after 100,000 kilometers.
Yeah, that's some miles.
60,000.
We generally consider that to be a 25,000 mile motor.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, right, exactly. But the reason I send you this email is because you talk often about this project where they rebuild old bikes with kids to get them acquainted with tech and work.
Yeah, MotoGo.
It's called MotoGo. Yes, it is. I am starting a project similar here for younger people who drop out of school or work for several reasons, and to get them back on track within a social structure where they are appreciated and learn to find out what makes their hearts beat faster.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, I would like to share some experience with you guys in the U.S. Do you have a contact? Arthur, absolutely, and you found it. So ClevelandMoto at gmail.com. Gmail.com, ClevelandMoto@gmail.com. Please, Arthur, we do want to hear about that because it is fucking important.
Yeah.
And any one of us who's ever gone to MotoGo and seen what's happening there, not just among the 40 to 60-year-old miscreant guys who rent booth space there and, torture old machines,
right,
but about the kids that are actually learning about motorcycles and building cool bikes. And that's happening the whole way around. So there's a lot of things happening there. There's a stage for people who play music.
Yep.
There's a pinball. There's pool tables. It's a good place to hang out.
It's a good, it's a good clubhouse for people that don't want to do anything. They want to figure it out.
But during the day, I think the MotoGo classrooms, the kids just go upstairs.
Yeah.
I don't think they're hanging out down.
So that's the deal. And MotoGo also does bring the trailer to your school.
If you don't have a shop.
Yeah.
If you don't have a shop, that kind of a thing. So that's a big deal as far as I'm concerned. I'm extremely happy that you're doing something like that.
I bet you if he has questions or anything, we could probably link him up with Steve or
Brian.
Brian.
Yep, exactly. I'm certain of it.
Coming from my end, I'm going to say it's hard to find anybody that knows which end of a wrench to hold.
Huh?
And it's even harder to find somebody that knows which end of the wrench to hold 10 years after you've tried to teach them how to hold which end of the wrench to hold. And there aren't enough people. No matter where you are, no matter what you do, there are not enough mechanics or non-technically inclined people, period. So anything you can do to help this out, this American school system aside, I knew in the 5th grade I wanted to be a mechanic. Because I read something that said recession-proof careers, and I realized I didn't like alcohol then.
Right.
So I didn't want to be a bartender. Mechanic, on the other hand, everybody needs one.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, good on you.
Yep.
They can't outsource you.
They cannot outsource you. That's exactly
As
right.
a matter of fact, my boss actually imported me.
He went to a lot of trouble to import you.
He bought me a bar.
Yeah. So here's the Nate Kavanaugh, $10. He's going to get the punchlines now.
Oh,
okay.
yay.
So Nate Kavanaugh,
He only took tips.
he got the $10 Patreon level. He's going to catch the all of the good stuff. Now, I have one last one. This is it. This is how we're going to close. There won't be any more. This will be our last letter tonight. Cody. So he's from St. Louis.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. Yeah. My name is Cody. I'm writing in from St. Louis area, Missouri. I was rolling back through a few older uploads since I've been caught up on the podcast. And I have a question about something mentioned in one of the delivery monologue uploads. I think that's me in the truck alone. He says, you mentioned that shops like to have orbital guys available to wrench on bikes they can't or aren't allowed to touch due to age or other factors they can't control. This is when we give somebody the name and number to somebody we know that is willing to work on your 72 Honda CB.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we can't do it as part of our lineup at the shop because I just can't give up the shop space, the lift space, waiting 6 weeks or 8 weeks for a part to come in.
Right. Or sometimes if you guys are super slammed and you need something, you call around. That's
Absolutely.
how I met the tire Nazi.
There it is.
I had a call.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's right. That's how. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So we do. So he's exactly right. We have guys that we do that. I've been very, very well acquainted with the older carbed Evo Sportsters for many years. Since we are rapidly approaching the line that if your Harley has a carb, the dealer won't deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not shitting.
True story.
True fucking story.
True story.
And guy came into my shop the other day with a 2006, I believe, that had 3,000 miles on it. Dealer wouldn't touch it. Wow. And the dealer laid the whole, it's 14 years old or older. I'm not touching it.
Wow.
And they're like, wait, oh, man. And I realized, I was like, oh, shit, it is. It's fucking 23 years old, man. Like, that bike is older than I gave it credit for.
Your Mikuni knockoff, I know,
or
back
whatever,
and
yeah.
forth, yeah.
But the
Yeah,
thing
it's a
is, when
20-year-old
you
bike.
look at it, you can't really tell because it just
I know.
looks the same.
Right. So anyway, he's like, I got to thinking, what does it take to set up such a thing? Legally, with minimal liability. Well, the first thing is don't do it legally.
Right.
Yeah.
The more legally it is, the more liability you
And,
have.
more
I mean, this is
expensive
such
it's
a,
gonna be,
I
you
didn't
know?
know, sorry. And you get a slap on your dick maybe once. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
nobody's out there with a team of people looking
Right.
for the repair guy.
Yeah. So here's what he says. With a family to feed, the last thing I need is a tax hammer or some stuffy paper pusher to wreck my livelihood. But I'd absolutely love to pursue my passion with motorcycles. This ran a little long, so I'll leave it with just that. Keep up the solid production. Toss back around for me. Thanks a million, Cody. Cody, I'm going to tell you the secret that I should have listened to is be small, keep it all. Stay small, keep it all. Fly under the fucking radar.
Yeah.
If you make no promises, you face no liability. If you are just working on cool old bikes because you like cool old bikes, that is the best place to be. If you happen to take small portraits of dead people as payment or exchange for your time and effort, so fucking be it, man.
Plus, there's got to be a few cops around that need their bikes fixed. Fucking
Damn
hook them up, and then you're fucking.
straight.
Once
Yeah.
you become their dude's fucking mechanic,
Not
you're-
joking.
Yeah,
Not joking. I'm going to tell you, having a few firemen
yeah,
that we call customers
yeah.
is not a bad thing.
Oh.
No, it's not a bad thing. You're absolutely right. You know,
The hardest part about all of this is that when you feel when liability becomes an issue is the only time it's ever going to be, man, I wish I was a little bit more legal.
I don't think that's the case,
And-
man. Every time I pay my insurance bill, I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't so legal. Every time I pay my property tax, man, I wish I wasn't so legal.
But I mean, you could protect yourself, right? Like, just have like a hey, as a friend, I'm fixing your bike, and I have no liability if anything happens. Like,
You know, everyone says make a waiver, and I'm saying don't make a waiver. It's the opposite of waiver.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't.
The less
I was sitting here working in my garage.
the least
Some
amount
guy
of
wandered up and said, "Hey, can you work on my bike?" I said, "I don't really work on bikes, but I'd be interested." But he offered me money, and I said, "Well, I wouldn't normally do this, but I'll work on your bike if you want to give me some little bit of money.
Right.
I don't know you, so I'm not going to just do it for free, but I'll help you out."
Do that 300 times a year.
yeah.
You'll name your boat Thanks, John. Right? Yeah.
Because I used to sit there and work in my garage, and people would be like, "You work on bikes?" And I'm like, "No, these are all mine.
Yep.
If you need any help, I could give you some advice, but I'm not really, But I could have just been like,
I'm going to tell
"Yeah,
you.
I kind of work on bikes. What do you want?"
Yeah. When we were at the Menor store, we had a guy that did old Harleys. Exactly what this guy's talking about doing.
well, that's what if you become the shop, like, who's gonna fucking say anything?
Don't be the shop.
You don't
No,
want
I'm
to
saying
stop.
the shop guy. Like,
It just, yeah. Just be like the guy who's just in
my
the
point.
garage, got a couple of lifts.
No, but you get your hookup at the
hobbyist?
shop, just like you're saying.
Yeah.
So when you
Yeah.
get there, the
Yeah.
shop
Yeah.
owner's like, call Dave.
believe
man.
me.
He's the
Oh
guy.
yeah, no.
I got
no.
2 cards in my shop. I wish I had 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every busted up, 92 Virago that comes in, that's like, yeah, man, I got this for $400. You, no,
The second you find a guy
Call Cecil.
that can take the thing, Fox was my guy in New Orleans. Fox was my guy.
Find your guy.
And if we couldn't and wouldn't deal with it because there was no money involved, we would say, look, we can't work on this, but if you call this guy, because if you tell somebody no,
you're
they
the
hate
asshole.
You're the asshole.
And you know what?
If you say, call this guy and see if he'll work on it,
Yeah.
suddenly you're a hero.
Yeah, you're trying to help him out.
And the guy who wants to work on that,
yep.
because he wants to have fun.
Yeah.
See, Cody's hitting it though. This is the perfect time
Yeah.
right now because listen,
Oh, yeah, it
fentanyl's killing all the crackheads. So there's no crackheads out there fixing bikes anymore.
Right.
So now you're gonna have all that availability too.
And the reality is he's not wrong.
Right.
The early 2000-ish Harleys
Yeah.
are a fairly simple bike.
Yeah.
It's just a Mikuni knockoff.
all fine. They're all fine. They're all easy to work on. But
Right.
the point is, I guarantee if you live in any major metropolitan area, your 2 Harley Davidson dealerships that you work with
yeah.
will not work on your
Oh,
bike
yeah.
if it's over 14 years
I
old.
like the 15-year-old girl who had the eBay store. You send her your carburetor, she cleans it for you and sends it back. And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
$300 a carb, and like any carb, like
Any carb,
Yeah.
whatever
doesn't
carb,
matter.
she's
That's coming from my end. Even that's a deal.
Sounds good.
$300. Let's go.
Yeah, sounds
I mean,
good.
hey, Phil, how much does a genuine Buddy 125 carburetor cost these days?
We're not even. We're at the risk of having people shouting about how you can put a Chinese one on. You don't need to buy the authentic one. You can put a Chinese one on.
If I could, I would.
You know what? You know what? You can, but I won't.
We're not going to.
I'm not going to.
I've got one sitting on my
Just not going to do it.
shelf, and I look at it and go, no.
Owen Stahl also became a $5 a month member. He's dangerously close to getting the punch lights.
Yeah.
Dangerously close.
He only took...
Yeah. He does get a box from Renee, though, so that's pretty cool. So he gets a box from Renee.
That's fair.
And this morning, we shipped out, I think we shipped out nine Badger boxes. So 9 Badger boxes went out this morning, and we have a new item that we're putting in the Badger boxes now that I think the people are really going to like.
Renee
So there's
must have broke a sweat.
What's that?
Renee must have broke a
It
sweat.
was pretty funny because she worked yesterday. So she worked on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She wasn't going home to see her family. She's like, yeah, whatever. And we went to Niagara Falls for fun. So we delivered a bike to...
You said she worked with sweat. So if you get a wet box, I mean, don't be upset.
If you notice that your box is a little more moist than you were expecting,
It's probably at the
it's
end of the
probably
session.
because
Yeah,
she did have to stuff her box so many times.
You were like the 8th or
this
9th
morning.
box at that
Yeah,
point.
she was
Yeah.
like 7 or 8, at least 7 or 8 stuffings deep. Yeah, say turkey with all that stuffing. Man, you just got.
Well, I did clean up the back of the shop so that now she can access the printing gear.
Yeah, so that's going to be another thing. So I don't know if people know this, but every single Cleveland Moto t-shirt that's ever been sold was printed in-house.
Yep.
And so we're going to get the whole band back together again. We're going to get the
literally
5-stage press
T-shirt
going.
design contest again.
Yes, we are.
Somebody needs to design a good T-shirt.
Oh, believe me, we are well on the, and this year our t-shirt design contest is going to have rules. so that we can kind of keep it on target a little bit. Yeah. Because I realized the way that the podcast has been for the past year, I don't want to get 26 submissions of just dicks.
You know what? I would print that.
26. Look,
I'd print
if we
that.
get one random dick pic through there,
We want to make Renee print a dick.
exactly.
Shit. You know what?
Exactly.
It's 2 feet away
So
from
like, look, it's like a penis, only smaller.
It's 2 feet. It's 2 feet away from my desk.
Yes.
Which means that I will print your dick.
We'll be making Bodie Big Boatcast shirts.
Yes. So I think we'll have at least maybe one rule, right? Yeah. One rule, but that's the name of that.
If it's gonna be a dick, it better be a fucking clever dick.
A clever dick. That's it.
Clever dick.
And on either side of your balls. So I do like that. Anybody else got anything else for it?
Give your balls a tug.
Give your balls a tug.
Come
eh?
on, somebody's got to have a Chris Smith joke. He's not here.
No, that's
Chris
fine.
Smith joke.
I will not do a Chris Smith joke if Chris Smith is not here. The Chris Smith jokes need to be Chris Smith jokes.
That's
so when they
true.
go down in flames, nobody else catches any shrapnel
What do you
from it.
call it when it rains on Thanksgiving? Foul weather.
Hey! And on that, my friends, remember to ride fast and take chances. Place out here, John.
Oh
man, Sicko. It's out. Hey, press the red button. Get us out of here.
Take chances.